could please, all cell phones off and silence for me, please. All cell phones silence for me, please. I want to say thank you to all of our team for being present. Thank you to all of our guest schools. And of course, we will be honoring all of our guests today. Again, if we could silence the house and all cell phones please silence. We want to ensure that our bands are in place. Thank you so much to our DCSD schools. It is my privilege, it is my honor to bring to the podium the superintendent of the DeKalb County School District. Put your hands together for Dr. Devon Hugh Horton.
Good morning. How beautiful it is here today. What a great day and a great moment for us. I would like to first thank our board members for being here today, and Nicole, and really pushing our district to really get into sustainability work. It's really powerful. Today, we are thrilled to announce our school's district selection to receive over $20 million from the EPA Clean School Bus Program funding. Did you hear that? $20 million. This will help us provide clean transportation for the DeKalb County students. And when I say it was a smooth ride that I just experienced, it was smooth. With this grant, we'll purchase 50 new electric buses that produce zero tailpipe emissions. These buses will be environmentally friendly and help reduce pollution in the community. It's a win-win for our students and our community. Implementing these clean energy, zero-emission school buses is a game changer. That's what Disrupting for Excellence looks like. I don't know when you last stood behind a running school bus, especially an older model, but it's apparent that you're not breathing in fresh mountain air as we're sitting at Stone Mountain, right? Before I go on, a moment of personal privilege. There are several of our district's outstanding bus drivers and transportation supervisors in the audience this morning who help keep our current fleet up and running. Please stand up and be recognized for your dedicated services if you're in the transportation department. We appreciate our dignitaries being here today who will be introduced. We're honored to have you represent us. If there's one thing I've learned, clean air is not just an environmental issue. It's a matter of public health and educational equity. What are the benefits? Students are more focused, less prone to get sick, and more protected from viruses and other harmful contaminants. It's literally one less obstacle for our students to learn. Growing up where I did, I saw how poverty and poor health can create barriers to education. Now, with the perspective of age, wisdom, and hindsight, I've also seen how children with proper support and a healthy environment can succeed and thrive beyond their original circumstances. It's been said time again and again, because it's true. Public education is the great equalizer. Here at DeKalb County Schools, we are dedicated to the development of not just academic and intellectual growth of our students, but their physical and emotional well-being. Every step we take towards cleaner air, fresh water, and healthy nutrition is a step towards improving the student's condition. These electric buses are an essential part of this commitment. On behalf of the grateful DeKalb County School District, we are thankful to receive this grant and know it will contribute to healthier environments for us all. One breath of clean air at a time. Next up, I want to introduce one of the most important people in the room, and this is our student who will be coming to speak. This young man is exciting to hear him learn more about what he's been doing and the excitement around this actual event today. And it's Benny, correct? I want to bring up Benny. It's going to be on first name basis. We've been outside in the cold together. Benny, come on up.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Benny Allen, a student up and president at Stone Mountain Middle School. Today, I'm thrilled to introduce a remarkable leader, Michael S. Regan. Inspired by his U.S. Environmental Protection Agency Administrator, he makes history as the first African-American male and second person of color to lead the EPA. Administrator Regan is from Goldsboro, North Carolina. He grew up inspired by his parents' dedication to public service. His mother, a long-serving nurse, and his father, a retired colonel in the North Carolina National Guard. Before his current role, he was the secretary of the North Carolina Department of Environmental Quality. During his tenure, he oversaw the most extensive coal ash cleanup in U.S. history and established North Carolina's Environmental Justice and Equity Advisory Board, which combines social justice with environmental stewardship. He has also played vital roles at the Environmental Defense Fund, focusing on practical climate solutions. Administrator Regan advocates balancing environmental protection with economic growth, prioritizing air pollution, production, and energy efficiency. A proud North Carolina Agriculture and Technical State University graduate, he is the first EPA administrator from a historically black college or university. Additionally, he holds a master's degree in public administration from the George Washington University. A devoted family man, he and his wife, Melvin, are proud parents to their son, Matthew. Please join me in welcoming EPA Administrator Michael S. Regan.
Thank you, Benny, for that introduction. Benny said he was nervous. Could y'all tell Benny was nervous? Let's give Benny another round of applause. It is so good to be here this morning, to be with you all. The energy in here is just so awesome. Dr. Horton, thank you for joining us. Thank you for your leadership, and thank you to the staff of Stone Mountain Middle School for hosting us. We truly appreciate that. Senator Warnock, thank you for being here, and thank you for your tremendous leadership. Yes. His outstanding work and unwavering commitment to the people of Georgia is just inspiring. Representative Johnson, thank you for joining us. It's good to be here. Thank you for your leadership as well. I understand your partner in crime, Representative Williams, couldn't be here today, but she's here in spirit for us. Listen, we could not be here today without the leadership of these members of Congress who fought so hard to pass the bipartisan infrastructure law. So I'd like to give a special thanks to these individuals because it was their partnership with Joe Biden that's helping to deliver that $20 million to the school. I'd also like to thank all of the state and local leaders who are here with us. You all will play a critical role in ensuring that these clean electric school buses reaches the communities across this state that need them the most, so we appreciate that leadership. To Ms. Kristen Jones, DeKalb County School District's 2023-2024 Teacher of the Year, we are so honored to have you. Thank you for being here. I want to say thank you, too, for everything you do every single day in that classroom. We know how hard it is. We're also grateful to have the CEO of Bluebird, Phil Harlock, and Bluebird Corporation members here today. So thank you, and thank you for your partnership. We really appreciate that. You know, and a special shout out to all the workers who are helping make this transition a reality. We are so grateful to all of our workers. And last but not least, thank you to all the young people here. You know, unfortunately with this job, I have to spend a lot of time talking to older folks, so I appreciate getting an opportunity to talk to some of these younger, energetic folks. You all represent the best and the brightest of our country. And every single day, I think I can speak for all of us adults, we're inspired by what you all are doing and what you all will do. So it's only right that we kick off 2024 with the school bus, a clean school bus event. At EPA, it's our privilege and our greatest responsibility to ensure that all people have clean air to breathe, clean water to drink, and an opportunity to live a healthy and prosperous life. And so many of the decisions that we make every single day directly impact the lives and future of the folks in this room, especially our children. And folks, that's not a responsibility that I take lightly. As a parent myself of a 10-year-old, I can say with certainty that there's no higher priority for me than ensuring that our children will live in a clean, healthy environment. Every single day, millions of children across this country ride the yellow school bus to and from school. And for many, it's that quintessential childhood experience. But we also know that traditional school buses that our students rely on are driven by internal combustion engines that emit toxic pollutions into the air. Not only are these pollutants harmful to the environment, but they can also be harmful to people's health, to the children who ride the bus, to the bus drivers responsible for the transportation, and for the folks in the surrounding community. Earlier today, I was proud to announce that EPA has selected 67 applicants to receive nearly $1 billion. That's billion with a B. $1 billion through our first Clean School Bus Program grant competition. And of that $1 billion, thanks to Senator Warnock, Congressman Johnson, Congressman Williams, and others, $60 million, nearly $60 million of that will land right here in the state of Georgia. You know, that's gonna bring cleaner electric school buses to communities all across the state, top high-quality union and non-union manufacturing jobs at Bluebird and Fort Valley, and a lot of people and a lot of students who will be able to focus on their education because they're not having to worry about their breathing. In total, the funding announced today will help selectees purchase over 2,700 clean school buses in 280 school districts all across the nation. Transitioning to clean school buses means cleaner air, less pollution. It means healthier kids, healthier communities. It means less time away from school and increased focus and increased productivity. And it means good paying American manufacturing jobs right here in Georgia and right here in the United States of America. You know, and the good news is we are just getting started. These awards represent only the second round of funding from a 5-year, $5 billion program created by the President's bipartisan infrastructure law. Today's grant announcement builds on a previous Clean School Bus Program funding opportunity, and to date, EPA has awarded nearly $2 billion for approximately 5,000 electric and low-emission buses nationwide. So we're improving air quality in and around our schools, we're reducing greenhouse gas pollution, we're expanding our nation's leadership in developing the clean vehicles of the future, and we will distribute these resources in about 37 bipartisan states. I'm also pleased to announce that school districts in low-income, rural, and tribal communities make up approximately 86% of the projects that we've selected. So what that means is we're creating cleaner and healthier communities, as well as doing it while delivering on President Biden's Justice 40 initiative, which aims to deliver at least 40% of the overall benefits of certain federal investments to underserved and overburdened communities. So I couldn't be more optimistic about where we're headed together. And I couldn't be more grateful for the leadership of President Biden and Vice President Harris, who are working every single day to build a better future for all of our children. So mark my words, zero-emission school buses can and will be the new American standard. Thank you all for helping us get here, and now it's time to hit that accelerator. And now I'd like to turn the mic over to Senator Warnock.
Well, hello, everybody. Good morning. Am I at Stone Mountain Middle School? Happy New Year. Listen, I am so excited to be here. And this is indeed a great day. Happy to welcome the EPA Administrator, Regan, to the state of Georgia. Give him a great big round of applause. Thank you so much for being here. Well, it's great to be back in DeKalb County. And this is an honor, not just for Georgia, but today is an important day for our whole country. Moments like this, what this project portends, is why I bother to do this job. I know I serve in elected office, but I'm not in love with politics, I'm in love with change. And this is good change for our state. Our planet is our most precious resource. If I were standing behind a different lectern at my other job, as pastor of Ebenezer Church, I would say the earth is the Lord's, and the fullness thereof, the world and they that dwell therein. Those who came before us have left the resources of the planet for us, and now the onus falls to us to be good stewards of our earthly home today and for future generations. And that's why I'm so very proud to celebrate this landmark $1 billion investment in clean school buses that will boost our nation's clean energy economy. With nearly 60 million coming right here to Georgia, and if I recall correctly, about 20 million of that 60 million to DeKalb County. This is about converting fleets of diesel-powered school buses into clean energy vehicles for the future. This is a ride into the future. This investment is a testament to the power of bipartisan cooperation, translating into tangible benefits for our communities, and it's a testament to the good that we can do when we center the people rather than the politics. When we center the people rather than the politics, we have a shot at getting the public policy right. That's what this is about. And so I'm excited about this project. And I'm especially proud that while this is a national program, Georgia is at the center. Georgia is the tip of the spear. Georgia is saving the nation again. So, I was a Bluebird kid. I grew up on Bluebird school buses. I didn't know that company was right here in Georgia. Like most kids, I just got on the bus. But from kindergarten through 12th grade, as a kid growing up in the public schools of Savannah, Georgia, I'm a Bluebird kid. Some of my fondest memories are on the school bus, waiting at the bus stop, sitting in the seat, don't tell anybody, hitting somebody on the head and then, pretending like it wasn't me. Confession is good for the soul. I finished a few algebra assignments I should have done the night before on the school bus on the way to school. Some of my best memories are on the school bus. And so it was a real honor to me as a senator to go down to the Bluebird factory down in Fort Valley, where I've met their leaders and their workers, and I have seen firsthand the amazing work that they're doing to modernize how we get our kids to school. They are greening the yellow school buses. Georgia's leading the way. And so I know how important federal support like this is toward not only supporting our children and fighting the climate crisis, but supporting our economy and the manufacturers who are creating good, paying, sustainable jobs. This is about clean energy for the environment, and it's about good paying jobs for the economy. Don't let anybody tell you that we have to choose one or the other. What's good for the ecology is good for the economy. What's good for the economy is good for the ecology. This is a project that is both economically and ecologically sustainable. This is a bus ride into the future. And so that's why in 2021, my very first year in the Senate, I went right to work introducing my Clean Commute for Kids Act, legislation to invest in clean school buses. We indicated that we would do $5 billion for clean energy school buses, $2.5 billion of the $5 billion just for electric school buses. And my bill was then adopted into the bipartisan infrastructure law that's already invested billions of federal dollars here in Georgia. And it's why I've led the effort in the Senate to strengthen federal funding for programs that invest in clean school buses. This is significant and meaningful work. Some people may see it as just another school bus, but I see an answered prayer. I told you that I grew up on those Bluebird school buses, but let me tell you, the bus I rode this morning was a whole lot quieter and smoother than the buses I rode many years ago. In closing, and nobody believes the preacher when he says in closing, this announcement is more than just a financial investment, it's an investment in the values we hold dear. By working to reduce harmful emissions that pollute our air while also strengthening our clean energy economy. This is an investment in the promise of our children. There's so many amazing aspects to this work. When you talk about the ways in which you're investing, particularly in poor and underserved communities, we know that asthma is a real problem for our children. It means missed days out of school. We also know that Black children are disproportionately represented in incidences of asthma and the importance of the environment with addressing that issue. So not only are we talking about jobs, not only are we talking about clean energy future, we're also talking about an investment in the infrastructure of our healthcare system so that we have fewer sick children and a stronger workforce. And so I'm going to keep working with Administrator Regan and my colleagues in Congress to strengthen federal support for this important work. It's so great to be at Stone Mountain Middle School. And I'm so happy to stand with you at this historic and transformative moment. Now, it is my pleasure to introduce my colleague and my friend who is making it happen in the House. God knows we need leaders in the House. Thank God for Congressman Hank Johnson.
Well, I tell you all, I hope the rest of the year turns out a lot better than this first foray into the new year for me having to speak behind a reverend and a senator. I hope the rest of the year turns out a whole lot better, I tell you. But I want to thank you, Senator Warnock, for that kind introduction. And thank you, Administrator Regan, for being here. And I tell y'all, you know, there's so many important people in this place this morning, but the real rock star in the room is none other than my friend right here. Y'all give it up for, I forgot your name, but you're the rock star. I want to thank everyone, all of the public officials elected and those appointed and those who are serving for your service. And Director Regan, you've been a great EPA administrator, particularly what you've done to fight for environmental justice. Thank you, Superintendent Horton, for hosting us here today at Stone Mountain Middle School. And special shout out to DeKalb County Commissioner Marita Davis Johnson, representing the county. She's also my wife. And also a special shout out to Teacher of the Year, Kristen Jones, who is a 5th grade teacher at DeKalb Elementary School for the Arts, which is another shining light in Georgia's 4th Congressional District. And on that note, welcome everyone to Georgia's 4th Congressional District, and I couldn't be happier and prouder that we are here in my district to recognize and celebrate all of the progress the Biden administration is accomplishing, in conjunction with Congress, of course, when it comes to creating a cleaner environment, green economy, and healthier children. And that's part of the reason we're here today, putting people over politics. Sure, we're here to celebrate the $1 billion in grant funding under the Bipartisan Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act, 60 million of which is going to Georgia, and 20 million of which will end up right here in DeKalb County to purchase clean, American-made, zero-emission buses. Yeah, y'all can clap for that. And we're also here recognizing the transition to a cleaner transportation future, which means cleaner air and less pollution. And by the way, healthier children and a healthier planet. It's all about young people and our future and how we as lawmakers work to make life better for our children and our children's children while creating 2 million good-paying jobs per year. With that, I'll turn it over to DeKalb County School District's Teacher of the Year, Kristen Jones, a champion for children.
Good morning, everybody. I am Kristen Jones, a proud 5th grade teacher at DeKalb Elementary School of the Arts. And I'm honored to be this year's District Teacher of the Year for DeKalb County Schools. Today, I want to talk about something that truly impacts our classrooms and our future, and that's the vital connection between cleaner air, healthier nutrition, and the success of our students. It should come as no surprise to anyone that healthier kids make more engaged and effective learners. Cleaner air isn't just about comfort, it's essential for reducing sickness and enhancing focus in our classrooms. Fresh water and healthy nutrition lay the foundation for a day filled with learning and growth. These elements are the building blocks that prepare our students to achieve, learn, and be successful both now and in the future. As the late President John F. Kennedy once said, intelligence and skills can only function at the peak of their capacity when the body is healthy and strong. He's right, because our goal is not only to educate the mind, but to ensure the well-being of the whole child. Providing healthy environments for students should be a non-negotiable for all of us. More than just academic success, it's about developing well-rounded individuals equipped to lead successful, fulfilling, and happy lives. We must advocate for policies and practices that protect our students and schools from the harmful effects of pollution. It's our duty to provide safe and nurturing environments where our students can reach their full potential. So yes, as a teacher and as an engaged, concerned citizen, I hope you'll remember the critical role that clean air, fresh water, and healthy nutrition play in shaping the future of our students. Together, let us commit to creating an improved, brighter future for all of our children the world over. It begins with us imagining and then working toward a future where every child can breathe clean air, drink fresh water, eat healthy food, and achieve beyond our wildest dreams. I believe that today's announcement is an encouraging move in that direction. Thank you. And up next, we will have Bluebird CEO Phil Horlock.
Well, good morning. This exciting or what? Come on, clean school buses, clean air for everybody. You can't beat that. I want to really thank Superintendent Horton for hosting this event today. Thank you so much for doing this for us. It's a big event to put on. I feel like I'm in a movie set, actually. I look at this stage here, it's incredible. I have to recognize several people here because this is once in a lifetime. You have a change that's a game changer. We've been building school buses in Fort Valley, Georgia, 120 miles south of here, since 1927. 3 years from now, 100th year's birthday, 100 years old we'll be. You're all invited to come and join us down there for our celebration. But once in a while, something different happens. There's a change taking place. And this is it today. This is the change we are seeing. I want to thank Director Regan of the EPA because he's in charge not just of $1 billion, $20 million for DeKalb, $60 million for Georgia. He's in charge of a $5 billion fund that the federal government approved to bring clean school buses to the United States. Congratulations for that. I also want to recognize a very special friend of ours, Senator Warnock here, Reverend Warnock. Now, Senator Warnock isn't just someone who comes here and talks about buses, how important they are, or clean air and what we're doing. I want to let you know a little bit about Senator Warnock. He worked with us 5 years ago, helping put this program together for us, the national program. He came to Fort Valley several times, wanted to know about electric buses. How do they work? How clean are they? What can I do to help you make that change to clean air in our bus environment for student transportation? And I want to thank you for everything you've done for us. He's a great friend. We took the time to get to know us, and we know him. And he's a massive advocate for this, and we should all recognize Senator Warnock. Thank you. So I mentioned about our history of Bluebird, 1927, building buses, and this is a big change for us now. We are the leader in alternative-powered school buses. We're more on the road than any other manufacturer. Propane, electric, we're the leader. We just launched this year our 1,500th electric school bus delivered to customers all across the United States of America. 1,500. Now, what does that mean? And by the way, that's largely funded by your program, Director Regan, so thank you very much for that. But what does that mean for our children? It means those 1,500 buses, which replace those, remember those diesel buses with the black fumes at the exhaust pipe? Well, they're going. They're disappearing. They replace 1,500 old diesel buses. And that ensures that we get, listen to this, 16,000 tons of carbon emissions are eliminated. Eliminated. Now, those buses transport 110,000 school children every day to and from school. So think about that. Clean air for those children, clean air for the communities. What can be better than that? Nothing, right? Nothing. Now, let's think about the vision of the future. Look, do you know how many school buses there are on the road in the United States today? How many school buses ride every day? 500,000 school buses. It's by far America's biggest mass transportation system. 500,000. It's transporting 25 million children every day. Now imagine if every one of those buses was electric powered, zero emissions. That would remove 5.3 million metric tons of carbon emissions from our environment and from our clean air. Is that amazing? That's what we want to try and do, Director Regan, with your help, make that happen. Thank you for that. So, I want to tell you on behalf of the Bluebird team of almost 2,000 employees working in Fort Valley, grateful to be here today. Thank you for your support, thank you for your attention. Enjoy your buses. I did recognize about $20 million should fund you, probably about 70 school buses. I think there's 60 million so for Georgia, over 200 electric school buses. That's a pretty good start. Plus you're right in the leadership category across the nation, so congratulations for that. So on behalf of Bluebird, I thank you very much for your support, everything you do for us. Thank you very much, Superintendent Horgan. Thank you. So with that, I'd like to bring up one of our great employees, one of our great teammates who works down in Fort Valley on our production line. Craig Corbin here has more than 15 years with Bluebird, a real loyal, dedicated employee. Let's give a nice warm welcome to Craig to say a few words to us. Craig, come on up.
Good morning. I'd like to give special thanks to our CEO, Phil Horlock, for the nice introduction. I'd also like to give special thanks to United Steelworker Alex Perkins for inviting me to speak here today at this historic event. I'm pleased to be here to represent both United Steelworkers and Bluebird, two institutions committed to working together to Georgia create the world's best, cleanest, and efficient school buses. Once again, my name is Craig Corbin. I've been at Bluebird for 15 years. I served as a production worker on the Chester line for Valley, Georgia Bluebird manufacturing plant. In my 15 years there, some of the most things I'm proud of are Bluebird is one of the largest job provider in rural central Georgia. On April 23rd, we opened a new EV building in Fort Valley. Each year, we try to strive for safer and cleaner and better buses for our customers. And finally, in the last year, workers at Bluebird voted to partner with United States Steelworkers to unionize. Thank you so much.
And ladies and gentlemen, we would be remiss if we were to leave out recognition for our DeKalb County School Board members who are here. Would you all stand up, please? Thank you.
Well, I think for many of our districts all across the country, we're already seeing these buses deployed. So the lead time is not that far out in the future. With partners like with the CEO and Bluebird, we're seeing the workforce is already there. The manufacturing is ramping up to catch up with the market demand. And we've got districts that have already been recipients of these electric school buses. So as we deploy this money, we are confident that when the money hits the streets are ready to receive and ready to deploy these school buses.
It's a pretty low number right now because, you know, we're just getting really the real help here from Director Regan and the EPA. So right now it's probably about 25 or so electric buses across the state. Obviously we're going to go 10 times that number with this new announcement. So it's a great day for all of us.
Yeah, and I was going to say one thing on the stat. You know, when we look at the $1 billion+ that we put out before and this $1 billion we're announcing today, we're looking at just from this program about 5,000 electric school buses hitting the streets soon. So that's sort of a shot in the arm to all the school buses that we anticipate in the next couple of years. That's nationwide.
Let me just say that this provision in the bipartisan infrastructure law is a huge boost to the development of electric school buses. We would not be where we are and where we'll be in a short period of time were it not for this investment. And so I'm proud of the fact that we were able to get this done. in the 117th Congress, and you're beginning to see the impact of it right away here in Georgia.
Yeah, our United States government throughout the history of this country has invested in the future with our ports, with our railroads, with our aircraft system, air traffic control. All of these required an initial investment from the federal government. The same way as our conversion to electric energy, EV, is being invested in by our government. After that initial investment, then the private sector comes in and begins to scale things down and create more opportunities, and that is exactly what we're doing here with this investment.
Well, running this year, obviously it depends how quickly we get the monies assigned, but we can expect to see that 25 or so I mentioned earlier growing to 50 to 75 by the end of this year. And then beyond to 250, let's say in 12 to 18 months from now, will be our intention, our expectation. I'm sorry? All across the Georgia. Well, I haven't seen the final results of where they are allocated, but I'm assuming virtually every county in Georgia applied for electric buses. It was massively oversubscribed, the interest is there, so I expect you'll see these all across the states, every county of Georgia.
Yeah, I think that's a very good point. Again, this is sort of the second tranche of resources that we've announced. When we look at the first $1 billion that we put out, we covered the entire nation. And when you look at today's announcement, we're covering over 37 states. So, when we think about Georgia, one of the reasons we're launching from Georgia is, number one, the exceptional leadership here that's standing here that is behind this national announcement. But number two, you have a manufacturer who has a home here in Georgia. So you see the workforce, you see the jobs, you see the development from a manufacturing standpoint. And now you're going to start to see that deployment, not just in DeKalb County and Georgia, but all over the country. Could you repeat that question?
Sure. Just reiterate again how important this is, not only with the grant incorporation in the law, but how this can be a model moving forward.
Oh, it's a game changer. This is an absolute game changer. Today's announcement is demonstrative of the future. And so when you have a company like Bluebird who is competitive and ready to demonstrate from a manufacturing standpoint that we can manufacture these products here domestically with the workforce that we have. As Congressman Johnson and Senator Warnock mentioned, this is a great example of a public-private partnership. This is an investment, a shot in the arm. We know the private sector will take this and run with it. This is an exciting day for the United States of America and for our children.
Pirates, look at what happened today at our school. Let's celebrate this amazing experience for you and what DeKalb County is about to have in these electric school buses. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? As we get ready to dismiss, teachers, I want to ensure that all of our students are fed, of course, and to all of our distinguished guests, would it be okay if you all celebrate my students? Because they've been in here since 9:45 celebrating this moment. Yes! Yes! We want to celebrate all of our guest schools. Thank you so much, Stevenson High School. Thank you so much, Redan High. Thank you so much, Druid Hills Middle, for being a part of this experience. To all of our distinguished guests, we are most grateful for having the opportunity to host this experience. Our drum line is going to take us out, but at this time, we're gonna start dismissing. Team, if we could get in place, we wanna ensure that all of our students are moving out quickly and quietly at this time. We're still having school. Thank you. Thank you so much. Our band is taking us out.